What's up, everybody? I'm Stella Chung, and you're watching The Weekly Fix, the show that recaps all the biggest gaming and entertainment stories you may have missed over the past week. Today, we take a deeper look at one of the most anticipated games of all time, Elden Ring. We also got an update on Skyrim Anniversary Edition, and apparently someone pulled a graphics card heist. Let's just get into it.
The official Elden Ring Twitter account shared 5 Elden Ring playable classes ahead of the closed network test from November 12th till the 14th. The news came with a list of playable classes and images of what your character would look like should you choose them when the game is released February 25th next year. The list of Elden Ring classes are Warrior, Enchanted Knight, Prophet, Champion, and Bloody Wolf. There's no mention if these are the only classes available at launch, nor have any further details been given for any of the classes. Besides the Warrior being seemingly the only returning class from previous From Software game, the rest of the classes appear to be new classes or variations of older ones. For comparison, Dark Souls had 10 classes, Dark Souls 2 had 8, Dark Souls 3 had 10, Bloodborne had 9 starting classes, and Sekiro had no classes because there was no character creation. You're just Sekiro. In addition, Bandai Namco confirmed on the Elden Ring website that players can expect to see the game run at up to 60 frames per second on new-gen consoles and PC when it launches in February. Bandai also mentioned in the game's frame rate on PC won't be uncapped at launch and will be limited to 60 frames per second. However, even though new generation consoles will be able to reach 60 frames per second, players will have to run the game in performance mode and utilize the game's screen resolution options and load balancer to approach higher frame rates. Good news though, both PC and new generation console players will be able to run the game at 4K resolution and have access to HDR support at launch. Ray tracing will also be made available via patch, but won't be available to Xbox Series S players. Last generation consoles won't have access to ray tracing features and will be limited to 30 frames per second in the game, but they can still benefit from HDR support. For more detailed specs and Elden Ring gameplay, be sure to check out IGN's most recent piece breaking down Elden Ring gameplay footage. In other news, Hogwarts Legacy might be released sometime after the next Fantastic Beasts movie. Reddit user Seer Pumpkin shared a Toy World magazine interview in which Warner Bros. General Manager Rachel Wakely hinted that the release window for the highly anticipated open-world action RPG set in the magical world of Harry Potter is to come after the release of Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore in 2022. Wakely referred to 2 major releases in 2022, with the first being Fantastic Beasts, which recently moved up in the theatrical release calendar to April 15th, and the second being Hogwarts Legacy, which was delayed in January. Hogwarts Legacy was first announced at last year's September PlayStation 5 event, with a reveal trailer ending on 2021 release window. However, at the beginning of this year, the game was delayed until 2022. Though we don't have a set release date yet for the game, we can expect significant info coming around the time Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore releases in April of 2022. I guess it's a good time to get that new wand or owl you've been looking for to prepare for your trip to Hogwarts this spring or summer. According to a Bloomberg report, the $53 million Take-Two game in question was being developed by Mafia 3 studio Hangar 13 and was codenamed Volt. The game was said to have been in development since 2017, but because of technological hiccups, troubles with reboots, and the impact of COVID-19, development stagnated. According to a Kotaku report, Take-Two officially decided to cancel the game because development costs were too high compared to the game's commercial potential. More details from the report state that the game was to be a third-person action title similar to Destiny. Could this have been Agent, a Cold War espionage thriller that got originally announced at E3 in 2009? Its website has been shut down without any explanation, and it has been deleted from Rockstar's website's game section. Whatever the case, $53 million is a lot of money to lose on a game, but relative to how much the company makes in a quarter, which is estimated at $985 million, and how much some of Take-Two's biggest titles cost, sinking $53 million into this unnamed game doesn't seem so bad, I guess? FYI, Borderlands 3 cost $95 million to make, with an additional $140 million for its DLC. Regardless, Take-Two has a bunch of other games in the works, as they have repeatedly mentioned ramping up game production on more 2K sports titles and GTA. We know Take-Two is cooking up something big, as they have been telling shareholders to expect significant immersive core release slates over the next 3 years. In an earnings call, Take-Two laid out expectations between April of 2022 and March of 2024. It's preparing over 60 new releases, 23 immersive core titles similar to 2K sports games, GTA, and Red Dead Redemption, 6 games from its independent game publishing label, Private Division, 20 mobile games, 4 mid-core games that are either arcade titles like WWE Battlegrounds or generally smaller in scope than Red Dead, and 9 games that are either ports or remasters. That's a lot of games! One thing is for sure, we will absolutely see many more games teased from Take-Two in the coming years. Speaking of Grand Theft Auto, NVIDIA RTX 30 series graphic cards were stolen in a daring truck heist. In a thread on EVGA forums, product manager Jacob Freeman announced that on October 29th, a shipment of EVGA GeForce RTX 30 series GPUs were stolen from a truck on its way to the company's South California distribution center. It was not made clear how many graphic cards were stolen, but Freeman did warn the perpetrators had violated federal and state laws, also noting it will not honor any warranty or upgrade claims on anyone who tries to register one of the stolen GPUs. The RTX 30 GPUs are in high demand for their power and utility in crypto mining, each estimated retail value starting at $329.99 up to $1959.99. GPU makers have had to work extra hard to combat shortages, but it seems someone got furious and took matters into their own hands fast. EVGA is also encouraging anyone that may have any information related to the stolen product to email them at stoprtx30theft@evga.com. We finally get to know how much the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition will cost, as well as how much it will be to upgrade from Skyrim Special Edition on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So what's the damage? In an FAQ, Bethesda confirmed on digital storefronts the Skyrim Anniversary Edition will cost you $49.99, but if you already own the Skyrim Special Edition, then the Anniversary upgrade will only cost you $19.99. In addition, both Skyrim Special Edition and the Anniversary Edition will be getting free next-gen upgrades for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. Achievement progress will also transfer between the Special and the Anniversary Edition, but not if you upgrade from the PlayStation 4 version of the game to the PlayStation 5 version. You have been warned. The Skyrim Anniversary Edition is set to include a plethora of new and existing Creation Club content, such as Morrowind weapons and armor, new questlines like Saints and Seducers, fishing, a new survival mode, and much more. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition will be available for purchase starting November 11th, 2021, and to celebrate the occasion, fans will also be treated to the Skyrim 10th Anniversary Concert, which will feature music from the game performed by the London Symphony Orchestra and London Voices the same day at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Can you believe it's been 10 years since we first heard the line,
"I used to be an adventurer like you, and I took an arrow in the knee. I took an arrow in the knee. Arrow in the knee. In the knee."
Yeah, let that sink in. Moving on, Nintendo is still discussing what its next console might be, but don't worry, the company isn't abandoning the Switch just yet. Nintendo will be sticking with the Switch for several more years, with internal discussions for next-generation consoles still taking place around a release date window of 20XX. Historically, Nintendo has released its next-gen console like clockwork every 5 years or so. The NES in 1985, the SNES in 1991, the N64 in 1996, the GameCube in 2001, the Wii in 2006, the Wii U in 2012, and then the Switch in 2017. Of course, there are other consoles in the mix I didn't mention, like the Wii Family Edition in 2011, among others, but the point is, with the Switch coming up almost 5 years since its official release, Nintendo does plan to one day replace the Switch with a new gaming system. Although Nintendo is not saying much about the next-gen console right now, they are going through internal discussions on concepts, timing, and pretty much everything. Now, before you freak out about the Switch being left in the dust, Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa did say that the Switch remains in the middle phase of its life cycle, meaning it still has several more years before its replacement. With the company's latest financial presentation, by adding the Nintendo Switch OLED model to its lineup, it's hoping to see a 6th consecutive year of growth in Switch sales, something never before experienced with their dedicated video game platform business. In addition, Nintendo has said it will continue to improve and expand its Switch online services and expansion packs. Nintendo pledges to improve its quality of service to its now over 32 million players online. Nintendo has also said it won't rule out acquiring new companies in the future while investing investing in its existing studios. The success of the Nintendo Switch has really exceeded its expectations across the last few years, and Nintendo has been left in a position where it is able to reconsider how to most effectively utilize its cash in a variety of strategic and meaningful ways, such as building software assets and developing ways to expand its relationships with consumers. CEO of Ebb Software and creative director for Scorn, Lubomir Peklar, has publicly apologized for an update made on the game's delay. On the Kickstarter of the game, Peklar apologized and took full responsibility for a statement that he now admits came across as hostile. In the original post, the team was asked what they were doing since the game's last trailer was released in October of last year. Peklar's response was that there was no big revelation and that the team was focusing on developing a game and nothing more. Peklar went further in articulating that projects like Cyberpunk 2077, which had developers create marketing content for the game, should have been better spent on the development of the game to ensure its launch was successful. He went on to say that the problem with hype content is that baiting people into a game that hasn't been out yet only results in disappointments, frustration in not meeting players' expectation, and distracting the developers from the important task, which is making a good game. Peklar goes into detail about further issues the game has endured, including an inexperienced development team. While the statement does take ownership for a number of issues, the response includes various statements and questions throughout that could be interpreted as patronizing. The update then ends with an announcement that the game is being delayed till 2022, and Peklar signs off with, "If lack of communication is so bothersome, just ask for a refund and be done with it. It's just a game. You can play it when it's out if you are still interested." Upon reading the update, many Kickstarters have asked for a refund because of the tone of the statement. Some were appalled at the shift in accountability onto the consumers, while others encouraged Peklar of other ways to make updates such as screenshots, concept art, or even interviews with the devs. Regardless, the largely negative response from a number of fans who have been waiting a very long time for the game has sparked Peklar to apologize. Scorn, a grim, surreal first-person shooter, was originally meant to arrive in 2017 before a re-reveal as the Xbox console exclusive saw a target release for fall of 2021. The most recent delay has pushed the game back to an unspecific date in 2022. Next up, Elder Scrolls fans may be waiting another year or 3 for the Elder Scrolls 6 as director Todd Howard has decided to make Starfield a priority over the next installment. In a wide-ranging interview with IGN Unfiltered covering Skyrim's 10th anniversary, Starfield, and the Elder Scrolls 6, Howard talked about a long list of projects that ended up being pushed back upon the conclusion of Fallout 4 in 2015.
Max Scoville here for IGN. Epic has pulled the Travis Scott Out West emote in Fortnite, likely in response to recent controversy. An Epic spokesperson declined to comment to IGN, but the official messaging acknowledges that the Fortnite item shop's daily section has been temporarily disabled deliberately. There's speculation that the Out West emote was planned to be featured today. Travis Scott has been the subject of intense criticism the past few days. Last Friday, a crowd of 50,000 people rushed the stage during his performance at the Astroworld Music Festival, leaving at least 8 concert-goers dead and more than 24 injured. It's unclear how aware Scott was of what was happening in the crowd while he performed, but his set continued for approximately 30 minutes after a mass casualty declaration was made. Though Scott issued a statement saying he was devastated, there's been much discussion about the lack of necessary safety measures in place at the event. In April of 2020, Travis Scott was the star of Fortnite's first virtual concert event, in which he was digitally recreated as a huge avatar who performed above the Battle Royale map. Epic reported the in-game event was viewed by 12.3 million players worldwide. In addition to the Out West emote, Epic has also released 2 Fortnite skins based on Scott's Astrojack persona, as well as other cosmetic items, and it's currently unclear if there are any plans to remove those as well. IGN will report more on this story as it develops.
gonna take a quick break. When we come back, Akeem gets you up to speed on everything in entertainment. We've got the latest on Robert Pattinson in The Batman, Spider-Man No Way Home, and even some Jojo's Bizarre Adventure news. Stick around so you don't miss a thing. Welcome back. Batman has been known to walk sort of a fuzzy line when it comes to dishing out justice, but apparently Robert Pattinson's Batman starts out as no better than a serial killer. Plus, there are hidden villains in the latest poster for Spider-Man No Way Home. Take a look for yourself.
More Spidey news just hit the web, pun intended, with a new poster for Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, in it, we get our first small look at Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin and subtle hints at a few other sinister villains. Now, following the reveal of Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus in the first trailer for the film, we see his tentacles on full display in the poster. Now, shown in all his green glory over Spidey's left shoulder is the Green Goblin. Yeah, look how dope that is. Now, also in the poster, we see signs of a sandstorm kicking up, as well as a single bolt of lightning. Now, these can be assumed to be teases for both Sandman and Electro, portrayed by Thomas Hayden Church and Jamie Foxx, respectively. Now, while it's not officially confirmed that they'll be making an appearance in the film yet, Marvel has given eagle-eyed viewers and fans enough hints and clues to assume those two members of the Sinister Six will be showing up. And with a reported runtime of 2 hours and 39 minutes, Marvel Studios is possibly making quite a hefty meal out of Spidey's traversal through the multiverse by giving proper screen time to all the potential cameos. Now, with members like Green Goblin and Doc Ock confirmed to be making an appearance in No Way Home, along with hints of Sandman and Electro, does this mean we'll likely see the full Sinister Six? Now, other members of the villainous group, Mysterio and Vulture, have already appeared on the big screen in previous Spider-Man outings, so it's more than possible for all 6 villains to join forces to take the fight to Spider-Man, or potential Spider-Men. Yeah, now still no confirmation on whether we'll see Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield reprising their roles, but if they don't, it'll be one of the biggest upsets in MCU history. I mean, to have a few of these villains from previous Spider-Man movies return, and not the guys who were the titular heroes in said films, would be a travesty. Now, this is the last in the Homecoming trilogy, so you either go big or you go home, baby. And it definitely looks like Spider-Man No Way Home is going big in theaters December 17th. But I would love to know what y'all think about this. What do you think of the return of Green Goblin? And who else do you think will be making an appearance in the film? Sound off down below. In other news, Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann officially wrapped filming on his episode of the HBO series The Last of Us. Now, in addition to co-writing and executive producing the live-action series, Druckmann also served as director. Now, taking to Twitter, Druckmann thanked the cast and crew for welcoming him on set and for the overall experience. Now, just for clarity, filming for The Last of Us series is still ongoing, so we have yet to find out when it will premiere on HBO. But as soon as we find out, as soon as that news breaks, we'll let y'all know. Warner Brothers released a synopsis for The Batman, giving us more insight into Robert Pattinson's portrayal of the Caped Crusader. Now, based on the synopsis, this version of The Dark Knight will seemingly be a bit darker than previous iterations. Now, the official synopsis reads, quote, "The Batman is an edgy action-packed thriller that depicts Batman in his early years struggling to balance rage with righteousness as he investigates a disturbing mystery that has terrorized Gotham." Now, Robert Pattinson delivers a raw, intense portrayal of Batman as a disillusioned, desperate vigilante awakened by the realization that the anger consuming him makes him no better than the ruthless serial killer he's hunting. Whew, wow, that's a lot to chew on. Now, with previous versions of Batman on the big screen already taking the detective into more serious territories, specifically Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder's, Matt Reeves' Batman is aiming to dive into even grittier territories than we've ever seen from the character on film. Now, actor Andy Serkis, who plays Alfred in the film, even stated in an interview with Lad Bible that this Batman will be significantly darker and broodier than previous iterations. Now, that synopsis definitely used certain descriptors I honestly have never seen when referring to Batman, so it seems we might be in for quite a unique and new take on The Dark Knight. Now, I would love to know how you interpret that synopsis of the Batman. what do you think has made him so disillusioned in his early years of crime fighting in Gotham City? Like, he's obviously desperate to find the answers as he chases the many clues leading to the villain, but what tactics does he implement that would make him no better than the ruthless serial killer he's hunting? Makes you wonder a little bit. Now, comment down below. Would love to know your thoughts on this and everything pertaining to The Batman. The Batman hits theaters March 4th, 2022. Now, across the superhero aisle, a new TV spot shows off footage from Marvel's upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home film. Now, in a super brief moment in the ad, we get to see a second more of the mirror dimension. Like, literally, a second more. Now, the mirror dimension is essentially a parallel universe that mimics our plane of existence. Now, in the TV spot, we see Doctor Strange diving to rescue Spider-Man with a quick pan to a wide shot of the city.
What just happened?
Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Super brief, and you may be saying to yourself, that's exactly the same footage from the first trailer. Well, that 1 second of a scene is new. Trust me, we're nerds here at IGN. We fact check these things, and I actually watched that damn clip like 10 times, freeze framing it and comparing it to the original trailer. So trust me on this one. Now, in the previous MCU outings, we've seen the topic of the multiverse come up, but No Way Home seems poised to fully explore the ramifications of messing within the multiverse within the Spider-Verse. I know, a verse within a verse, I know. Of course, it's crazy, yeah. Now, I know that brief clip doesn't tell us much, but what I can tell you is that while not confirmed officially, a leak via a Brazilian ticketing website revealed No Way Home's runtime to be 2 hours and 39 minutes. That's pretty damn long, yeah. Now, this screenshot was captured by Twitter user Spiderman Brazil, obviously promptly removed from the ticketing site once they realized their mistake. Spider-Man No Way Home releases December 17th. And also, I want to know from y'all. I want y'all to comment and let me know what you think of that brief footage that we just saw.
Well, it looks like Netflix just hit us with even more details on part 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. Now, during the Netflix Festival Japan livestream earlier this week, Netflix revealed a new trailer for the series, conversations between the main cast of Stone Ocean, and a release date. Yes, we got a release date, baby! We can expect part 6 of JoJo's to drop on the streaming platform December 1st. Now, with this, we also know how many episodes will be dropping day 1 of the series release. Come December 1st, we can expect to binge watch 12 installments of the anime series. Now, this is also probably just the first half of part 6, a single core. Now, it's likely we can expect even more episodes from Stone Ocean, as previous JoJo's entries have had 30+ episodes to their names. Now, with Stone Ocean dropping on December 1st, does that mean that JoJo Fridays is still going to be a thing? Well, seeing as December 1st is a Wednesday, it's right slap dab in the middle of the week, probably not. But it doesn't mean the fans can't rise up and make a concerted effort to watch these episodes together at a certain time on Fridays. But let's just be honest with ourselves. The majority of us are going to be halfway through the first batch of Stone Ocean episodes come December 2nd. Let's not lie to ourselves here. Yeah. Now, look out for JoJo's Part 6, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean, December 1st on Netflix. Now, for those that are already familiar with Part 6, what are you looking forward to seeing the most out of this anime series? Now, if you can tell us without dropping spoilers, let's hear it. Now, in other anime news, Netflix hit us with even more anime surprises during Netflix Festival Japan with the first image of the live-action Mobile Suit Gundam movie. Now, in the pic, we see the iconic RX-782 Gundam emerging from fire with glowing eyes. Ooh, look at that. Now, if it looks like a scene straight out of Kong Skull Island, well, that's no surprise, as the guy who directed that film about an oversized primate is responsible for this upcoming project. Jordan Vogt Roberts is attached to direct, and the untitled Gundam movie is currently in pre-production. Netflix also announced that they'll be working on a Yu Yu Hakusho live-action adaptation. Now, the streaming giant, have y'all noticed this? It seems like the streaming giant is really just doubling down on anime adaptations. Now, you know what I'd like to see? a live-action Tenchi Muyo series. Yeah, work on that, Netflix. Nah, I doubt it, man. I don't think they're brave enough to even touch that one. Man of culture, no why.
I'm Stella Chung, and that was your weekly fix. We'll be back here next Saturday with more of the biggest gaming and entertainment news of the week. See you then.